2012, the year in which Barack Obama won his second presidential election. We have the almighty Lord Gaben blessing the Counter-Strike community with CSGO, and a message on Facebook kicks off the world's largest esports event here in Katowice, Poland. Michał Jędrzejek, Katowice councilman, messaged Carmack with the hopes of bringing the Intel Extreme Masters here. In the meeting that followed, ESL Poland requested Spodek be the venue to hold the event.
I think the toughest thing in bringing Intel Extreme Masters to Katowice was the size of the venue. It's the full capacity is 12,500, and until then we'd never done a standalone event of more than maybe 1,000 people. So when I first came into Spodek and I looked at all the seats and I looked at how huge the place is, I thought to myself, holy crap, that, you know, if we put 3,000 people in here, it's not going to look like a success.
The queues that formed here year after year of passionate esports fans have since become legend. Spodek, once known for concerts and volleyball matches, would become synonymous with esports the world around. In 2013, Netflix releases House of Cards, Edward Snowden outs the NSA for spying on people, and Bitcoin mining becomes a thing, and of course the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice takes place for the first time. As the first of its kind, nobody really predicted how things would go down. What did happen was unprecedented. An hour before show start, the Spodek was full and 2,000 people were out here waiting to get in line. Braziers were put up to be able to help shelter them from the cold in January in Poland. Right here, the biggest esports crowd that the Western world had ever witnessed gathered to watch memorable moments, and in some cases, legendary ones. The Korean Protoss first was able to defeat Dream in the final in StarCraft 2, and in League of Legends, we witnessed as the Russians from Gambit Gaming were able to defeat 2 Korean teams in the semis and the grand final. The tournament has also helped to produce one of the most talked about League of Legends moments in history. Fnatic's ex-Peke was able to single-handedly turn the tide against SK Gaming. The moment now known as the ex-Peke backdoor helped to establish the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice and make it the event that it is today.
Peke's trying to take the Nexus down. Is anyone going to be able to deal with this one? Catches him with another axe. He's very low. They're pushing on the Nexus to his Peke's back to get it. I do not believe it. Peke's stuck in there. Catching it. Takes down the Nexus. But now he's going crazy.
Back game 2014. It is a year of Gamergate and a sale of Twitch to Amazon for almost $1 billion. Germany beat Brazil 7-1 in World Cup. It is also the year that IEM Katowice becomes Intel Extreme Masters season final, where the trophy is won. Zaiwu is 13 years old. As fans brave the cold outside the Spodek, the queue is backed up for over a mile long. With a big stage and thousands of fans in front of it, it was here that modern CSGO was born.
Winner takes all.
What fans in Poland remember the most from this event is EMS1 Katowice Major, the second major ever and the first CS event with full stadium. It was a dream of a grand final for Virtus Pro. CS is the most popular game in Poland. I've won world championships everywhere in the world with my former teams, but no Polish team has won it here. The audience were cheering for my old teammates, but also shown a lot of respect to NIP, which was the most successful team in CSGO at this point. I personally was watching this final in my rented room in Windsor, UK, and crying from jealousy because I wasn't a player anymore.
And it'll be fifth Laren and Exist to come charging in, and Stacks to go mowing them down. One more will do it, and that is Pro. It's all on Forest. He gets the first. He doesn't get this.
2015. CSGO majors still had 250,000 in prizes, and there were 3 of them. One such major took place in Katowice as ESL 1 alongside Intel Extreme Masters, League of Legends and StarCraft 2 championships. The stage could have been the biggest one Counter-Strike had seen until that point, with festival elements having been moved into the new 8,000 square meters expo hall. The esports part of the event continued to scale. Group stage has been played at this gym every single year. This was my first tournament after joining my former teammates as a coach. This was the beginning of Fnatic era with Flusha, JW, Crims, Pronax and Olaf Meister. We've lost to Fnatic in the semi-final.
Olofmeister gets smoked off, but not entirely. There's a gap in the smoke, and Olofmeister will pick up the kill for a double. It's down to Taz. And he has to try and see if he can defuse this bomb. Does
really
it once,
molly.
He's got the kit, but
The bomb's
Olofmeister...
mollied, he can't defuse it.
Oh,
Olaf's
no.
going to win this round from time.
Oh no, Taz jumping into it here. Now Olaf is coming back, Taz holding it down. Olaf running with the knife out, 2 seconds, 1 second, and there it is.
And they have beaten NIP for the trophy.
Olofmeister again hiding in the same spot up by Graveyard, and Crims, well, he's in the side. Oh, there it is. Now it's on Exist 1v2 here. Fnatic, they could be the second or the first team to win a second championship here in Global Offensive, and Olofmeister's playing it so safely. They know that they have it. Exist gets one, and he's back on it. He's got the kit, he's holding it down. I'm not sure there's enough time. Fnatic, they do it!
Ladies and gentlemen, your ESL 1 Katowice champions are Fnatic!
2016, Donald Trump was elected US president and Leicester City won Premier League title and stunned the world. Great Britain voted to leave European Union. The Intel Extreme Masters Trophy is back in Counter-Strike for the first time since 2012, when talented Polish team ESC Gaming, which I was a player, won it in CS 1.6. 12 teams played in 2 groups of 6, the same tournament format as last time. It was a tournament with familiar team names and also the lineups you might no longer remember. FaZe played with Michael. Freiberg was still a player of NIP. Envy played with NBK and Kenny S. Navi played with Edward. And mousesports was still playing with Nico. Fnatic beat us again, this time in quarterfinal. I remember this game because we have upset a lot of people in the stadium, our wives and girlfriends sitting in the lounge, and we even skipped post-match interview because of how we felt. Fnatic won their semi-final game against Astralis, and Navi played an epic semi-final against Brazilians from Luminosity. Our good friends, Taco, Fer, Fallen, FNX, and Coldzera.
2-1-4 right now, but can they possibly retake this? It seems almost impossible. They're going to try and take their time. Fallen goes down, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Fnatic, your Intel Extreme Masters Season 10 winners.
The hype was behind Luminosity, but Olaf Meister and his team did it again, putting Fnatic name on IEM trophy for the second time after 7 years. The other winners were Pold in StarCraft 2 and SK Telecom T1 with Faker in League of Legends. In 2017, Twitter doubled up its character to 280. PUBG and Fortnite came out. Neymar's transfer from Barcelona to PSG broke football record, and Nico's transfer from mousesports to FaZe broke one in Counter-Strike. It was also the year when everything fell apart in Virtus Pro as well. It was the beginning of new era, slowly saying goodbye to the lineups of old, with the birth of new FaZe Clan and Astralis, who would go on to fight for domination over the scene, with Glaive making his debut on Katowice stage only 4 months after joining Astralis.
Washington Yeshima gets his head blown off. It's Glaive to open up the bomb site here. And he gets a double as well, make it a triple. Fantastic work from Glaive. That's going to be round done and dusted.
It was also a tournament with a lot of upsets. SK Gaming, NIP, Fnatic and Virtus Pro dropped out in the group stage. In the grand final, Super Team of FaZe with Nico, Guardian, Alu, Olaf Meister and Carrigan, who recently rejoined the team, met Astralis. It was their first final of this caliber. For Astralis, it was second in a row after winning Atlanta Major against us. Astralis, still with Kirby, but without Magisk.
Tried to fire in, it's gonna get planted. Glaive and Dupree pushing up from Banana. It's all on the newest acquisition and it's all done! Astralis win!
Are we talking about the era of Danish dominance?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Danish dominance, put your hands together for your winner. They are the world champions, the Intel Extreme Masters Season 11 champions, Dupree and Astralis!
2018, LeBron James transfers to the LA Lakers, France wins the World Cup, CSGO goes free to play, and Fnatic wins the Intel Extreme Masters for the third time. The event holds an ESL 1 Dota Major, as well as an Intel Extreme Masters StarCraft 2 Championship.
Champion is Rogue!
A new format and a $500,000 prize pool were on the menu for Katowice in 2018, as the Boston Major brought a championship to Cloud9 with FaZe in the final. Katowice looked like FaZe's event for the taking as they beat Cloud9 in the first round of the playoffs, then took out Astralis 2-0 in the semis. They would meet Fnatic in the grand final for one of the greatest best-of-5s of all time.
There was a time 2 years ago you would have rolled your eyes watching Fnatic win yet another event. Perhaps like a fine wine, it's gotten sweeter with time because they have to earn this one every inch of the way. JW finally silenced, but it's just Guardian and Olaf, just Olaf! And Olaf gets paid back by his old team! Fnatic has done it! The first three-time IEM champion!
"2019, astronomers released the first ever image of a black hole, Notre Dame Cathedral burns to the ground, and COVID-19 grips the globe as everyday life changes for us as we know it. The Intel Extreme Masters Katowice had once again become a major after 4 years. It had stickers, rotating stages, $1 million, and, as had become tradition, a former Intel Extreme Masters champion brought out the trophy, moving some in the audience to tears. This major will be remembered for ENCE's miraculous run through the minors, the new challengers and legends stages, where they were able to beat Liquid and Na'Vi to make it to the finals. The stage was set right here, and waiting for them in the final was the legendary Astralis. Winners of the Face It Major in London, they gave the Finns zero chance.
Possibly be as good as 2018, but there's no signs of them slowing down, not for Dupree either. He'll get two. They walk in the smoke, Glaive, he'll only punish one, but it's just Ariel to find, and it's done!
They went on to win their second major in a row, being their third major ever, and a few months down the line they were able to win another major in Berlin, making it their fourth. "2020, the COVID pandemic begins to grow worldwide. Major sporting events are postponed or called off, and the ESL Pro Tour begins with the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice as its opening act. Unfortunately, COVID-19 hits hard. A last-minute decision by the Silesian government forces the tournament to be played entirely behind closed doors, and as it turns out, the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice was the last ESL major LAN of the entire year. Despite being played behind closed doors, the tournament was still full of surprises. Intel Grand Slam winners Team Liquid were knocked out in the first round, Astralis were only able to take 10 rounds in the semis, and the new-look G2 was able to qualify to the grand final.
Nexter and Hunter left trying to stay tall here. Nexter's dropped, and that means Hunter up on the high ground. He's gonna have to jiggle peek this all day. They're already on the bomb, and that's a bit of a shutdown. Right back to it. Brolan immediately on the defuse. 3 kills. They don't get it! G2 have done it!
10 years after Na'Vi won their first Intel Extreme Masters event, Na'Vi's turn came again. With Perfecto joining their roster just weeks before the tournament began, with him on their team, the CIS roster was able to confirm their championship credentials.
2011, last time that Navi's name was scribbled on to that trophy. What were you doing back then, back in 2011?
2011, I think I was 14. I was start to play CES to grind for this trophy because this trophy is insane. It's not like ESL 1 Cologne trophy or something like this. Intel Extreme Masters, you know, and it's insane for me.